I'm very happy to be here with you today. Welcome to your Into Reading Texas Getting Started Professional Learning course. Into Reading Texas is a comprehensive literacy curriculum that develops analytical writers, independent thinkers, and proficient writers. Today's session is meant to get you started with Into Reading Texas. We'll have a lot of hands-on activities today that will make sure that you are confident and excited about teaching Into Reading Texas in your classrooms. Now, before we get started, I want to go around the room and learn a little bit about everybody. Please give me your grade that you'll be teaching and a little bit about yourself, starting with the first letter of your name. So I'm going to start. My name is Lourdes, and I am a dual language teacher. I'm also a librarian, and I love working with kids, and the one letter that would describe me is loving.
My name's Diana, and I am a fourth grade teacher, and I have taught the primary grades for the bulk of my life, and I'm daring.
My name is Sarah Weber. I will be teaching fourth grade this year, but have spent the majority of my educational career in the high school classroom, and the word that I would describe myself as is sassy.
Great, so we have daring and sassy in the room. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on to the next slide here. Now, if you would all please use your tablets, your laptops, go ahead and go into this learnhmhco.com sign-in and go ahead and put in your session code. This validates your attendance for today's session. So I'll give you all a few seconds to do that, and give me a thumbs up when you are done. Great. Now, before we get started, we're going to have a little icebreaker because we're going to be sitting all day, and we need to know that we're going to do a lot of TPR, a lot of physical response today. So today we're going to have the 5-second rule. So I want everybody to please pair up, and I'm going to pass out these little cards, and I'm going to give you 5 seconds to answer a question. We'll have partner A and partner B. So here you go, ladies. Okay, when you're ready, go ahead and get started. You'll have 5 seconds to answer the question.
Name 3 favorite TV shows.
I don't watch television.
Okay. Time's up.
Name 3 things you want to do during the current season.
Sit by the pool, drink margaritas, and get a tan.
Great answers, girls. Thank you so much. Okay, now when you think about balanced literacy, let's look at this for a minute. When you think about balanced literacy, I want you to think in your mind what it is that you consider balanced literacy. In just a few minutes, I'm going to give you time to go into menti.com. This is a really cool technical tool that you can use to go in and write down what you define balanced literacy as. I'll give you a couple of seconds to get into the web page and put that in there. Okay, thank you for doing that. As you can see, we had a lot of people putting in what they believe balanced literacy to be. We have independent reading, we have teacher-led small group, we have word study, so you'll have a great idea of what you believe balanced literacy is. Now, let's take a look at your professional learning guide. Professional learning guide today, we're going to use this. This is going to be your companion. This is very handy. This, we will call it your Bible, if you will. It's also, you can consider it your diary because there's a way to make notes on the side of your PLG. You're going to refer to this throughout your whole year of teaching, and we're going to refer to it a lot today. So henceforth, we will call this our PLG. It is your professional learning guide, but as we refer to it today, it's called your PLG. So I want everybody to take a look at pages 4, so I can show you what you have access to in this book. So if you take a look at the professional learning guide, on the side here, on the left side, it shows you the resources that you find within this book. It has program pedagogy, it has everything that you're looking for inside this book. Also, if you continue on, you're going to have manageable milestones. Manageable milestones is a great way to reflect on your learning as a teacher. It's a great way for you to check back during the beginning, the middle, and the end of the year. We're learning a lot of stuff today, so this is great to bring in your learning a little bit at a time so you're not completely overwhelmed with what we're learning today. Extend professional learning. See that little guy there on the corner? That guy's name is Ed, and Ed is going to be our friend. He's called our friend in learning, and he's a great technical tool for you to use throughout InterReading. We'll get into him a little bit later, but if you go onto this Extended Professional Learning, you're going to use this as you take your professional learning courses after each module. And my Pinboard. My Pinboard is a great thing for you all to use. You can put your sticky notes there. You know, if you have any questions that you want to ask or anything that you want to ask yourself or to look at, you can go back to this Pinboard and use your little sticky notes there. Okay, now that we've introduced InterReading, let's talk about the learning incomes that we're going to have today. Now, I want you all to take a look at the learning incomes and quietly read each one of them. And I'm going to give you some time to look at them and see what it is that you want to learn about today. I'll give you some time to do that. Now, with the first paragraph being 1, 2, and 3, I want to give you, will you all please show me, by looking at those learning incomes, which one of these 3 is most important to you? Great. So it looks like we have plan and teach engaging rigorous lessons and differentiate instruction. Very good. We'll go into that today. Now that we know what our learning outcomes are for today, let's talk about how we're going to spend our day. So take a look at the agenda. We're going to go with introducing InterReading. We'll have a lot of hands-on practice so that you know what it is that your students are going to be learning with this InterReading Texas. We're going to have a student experience. You're going to look at the program through your students' eyes. And in between student experience and teaching and planning, we're going to have lunch. So don't worry, we're going to have a long day together, but we'll also have plenty of time to go to lunch, and we'll also have 2 breaks in between. We'll have time for teaching and planning, then we'll talk about assessment, and then we'll get you ready with the first steps for success with planning some lessons for your year. Okay, for those of you who are going to be learning about Arriba la Lectura, there's going to be some time in between the teaching and planning where we are going to talk about Arriba la Lectura and how that focuses on our ELL learners. This is also great for those of you who are teaching dual language programs, so we're going to see the correlation between InterReading Texas and Arriba la Lectura. Now that we've gone through the learning outcomes, that we've introduced InterReading Texas, I want you to take a look at these questions that are here in this little cloud. What challenges do you see your students facing in your InterReading classroom? Okay, and also I want you to reflect on the question, what are your goals for supporting their learning? If you go to your PLG page 6, there's a little area there where you can write what your challenges you see your students facing, and also what your goals are for supporting the learning. I'll give you a few seconds to fill that in. Thank you. It looks like most of you all are finished. Now, the very cool thing about this, if you continue on your PLG page 6, there is a destination postcard. And this postcard is something you're going to write to yourself. Consider you have the best year of your life teaching, and you're going to write this postcard to yourself so that you can refer back to it at the end of the year. Now, if you sit with your partner, you can go ahead and, well, the cool thing that you could possibly do is that you could go in there and write your partner's address, so that when you're done with it, you can cut it out and maybe mail it to her and let her know how you did for that year.